بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. وعن ابن عمر رضي الله عنه قال: من استفاد مالا فلا زكاة عليه حتى يحول الحول. So Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu said, whoever acquires some money then should not pay zakah on it till a whole annual lost on it. So the wealth or the money basically can be of two types. Some money that you have, let's say in trading, and you're buying and selling, so you own the money already and it's growing, right? The other type of money is accidental. You don't own it, it just, you get an IRS check, so this is, or someone gets an inheritance. And some people even included the paycheck you get on a monthly basis because you don't have it already, you're not growing it, you're not trading with it, and you just get it accidentally out of nowhere. So this is what they call in fiqh al-mal al-mustafad, the acquired money. So there are two ways of making zakah on it. One is to count a whole year for that particular amount, and if you still own it after a year, then you make zakah on it. But this way, you will have endless ahwal, right, for each amount of money, and you have to keep a full-time employee just to survey al-hawl for each amount of money. The other easy way, and this is what scholars have approved, that at the end of the hawl for your original wealth, you just survey and calculate how much money, and you pay on everything you possess, even if the hawl did not last for particular amount of money. Does that make sense? And this is what Maymun bin Mahran, one of the tabi'in, one of the salaf said, when you reach the hawl, the end of your hawl, your annual, what you do, you survey all the wealth you have. You take out the expenses that you have to pay, your salaries, your utilities, all the amount that you have to pay. You add the loans that you have given to people, and there is going to be a specific hadith about that, inshallah, that you're hoping that you're going to get back. You deduct the debt you have. If you have taken loans from other people, you're going to give it back, so you take that away. And basically the total sum you have, in that balance, you pay the zakat 2.5% on. So that is zakatul naqdain, or the currency, or the money, because there is something else going to come about the livestock and the commodities and the assets you have for trade, and then also the crops and the plantations. So, but this is how you calculate the currency and the wealth. If you have any questions, inshallah, we'll answer it afterward. وعن علي رضي الله عنه قال: ليس في البقر العوامل صدقة. So this is a very important principle and statement. Ali radiallahu anhu said that the cows that are put to work, the worker cows, you don't have to pay zakah on it. So for the livestock, and this is a very important principle that we're going to talk about inshallah in a second. For the livestock, you have to pay zakah if they're grazing on their own. That's what they call salima, meaning just goes and grazes on its own. But if it's a worker, meaning used for plowing, or a camel used for carrying loads, and then you don't have to pay zakat. And that is the principle, that anything that is used or put to use, then you don't have to pay zakat on. This is your house that you own, right? This is the car that you drive. And some people said the jewelry that a woman uses. So we're going to talk about also in detail, inshallah. So anything that is being used, then there is no zakat on. Is that clear? So that is not included in the wealth that you have to calculate the zakat on. وعن عمرو بن شعيب عن أبيه عن جده عبد الله بن عمرو أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: من ولي يتيما له مال فليتجر له ولا يتركه حتى تأكله الصدقة. So this is a very important principle also, as we will illustrate inshallah. So Abdullah bin Umar narrated the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever is becoming the guardian over an orphan, and you have custody basically over their wealth, right? So let them trade for them in that money, in that assets. Why? Otherwise the zakat, the sadaqah, will make it diminish gradually. So this is an important thing. The Prophet ﷺ is encouraging two principles, or there are two things in this hadith. Number one, the investing the money and not let it sit. Why is that? Because the zakah is going to diminish it. So if someone owns like $1 million, you pay $25,000 this year, right? So that makes it 975. And next year you pay a little bit less than 25,000. And over years it diminishes. And with inflation rate going up, like we're at 8% inflation. If you're in Turkey, you're talking about 70%, 80% inflation. So this is a very important economic principle the Prophet ﷺ is pointing out, that the wealth is going to fade away. So you have to keep it. The money is meant for growth. It has to be basically added to the pool of money in the market in order to encourage economic growth. And this is the benefit of the zakah basically. There is always constant recycling of the money. So that is the first principle the Prophet ﷺ is pointing out. The second principle, that even the orphan has to pay zakah. And who pays on it? The guardian, right? This is something the Ahnaf said there is no money for the orphan unless this is the puberty. But they said because he cannot make the niyyah and they're not mukallaf. But they said in the zuhur and thimar there is. So there is some disparity here. How do you pay on the zakat, on the zuhur, and you don't pay on the currency? But this hadith is clear, and this is the majority of the scholars, the jumhur, that every money, the money has to be zakatable regardless who owns it, right? There is money, there is zakat, and it's only 2.5%. And this is basically the amana on the guardian that has to pay the zakat for it. طيب, and the last hadith inshallah is عن عبد الله بن أبي أوفى قال كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا أتاه قوم بصدقتهم قال اللهم صل عليهم. So when the Prophet ﷺ, when people would bring their zakat to him, he would say, Allahumma salli alayhi, may Allah pray, have mercy on them. This is from the ayah, Inna salataka sakanun lahum. They said this is specific to the Prophet ﷺ. When a collector, the zakat collector, gets the zakat, the sadaqah from people, and he makes dua, he doesn't say Allahumma salli alayhi. And this is an evidence that the salah is not specific only to the prophets. This is to say, Assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillah as-salihin. So, but in this specific term for the zakat, it is specific to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله والحمد لله رب العالمين.